Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is King Geo. I want to talk a little bit about flying this summer. As you are well aware, there's been a lot of flights from all airlines, not just the ones that are here domestically, but international, about how the airlines are having late flights or canceled flights. I will urge you, I please urge you, if you're going to send your child, your unaccompanied child, to another state for the summer, please be careful, because there are a lot of flights that are being delayed, there are a lot of flights that are being canceled. I'm talking about canceled flights. There are a lot of canceled flights that are having your children stranded at the airport. All right. Most airlines will not allow you to send your unaccompanied minor child or an unaccompanied minor child on its last flight of the day. I've seen a lot of people call saying that the child, that their connecting flight's not going, or that their flight has been canceled, and their child, these are kids, they're 16, 15, 14-year-old, and how are they going to get home? I heard of a situation not 2 weeks ago about how a woman, her two kids, 8 and 4, were going from Charlotte, North Carolina, to Peru, and the flight got canceled in Miami because it was going through Miami. It had a stop in Miami, and there was no way to get in those kids to Peru because there was no more flights, and the flight got canceled. That woman was hysterical. They had to sell her a seat for she can come to Peru to come get her kids at Miami. And like I said, most airlines will not allow you to book your child on a flight that is the last flight of the day. They will not do that. When you pay your unaccompanied minor, when you pay that fee entails that if the plane gets canceled, your child gets stranded, there's supposed to be a place for that child in that airport, a safe place, because you can't have a 16 or 10-year-old that cannot rent the hotel. So you have to have, when you make a reservation for your company child, make sure that it's not the last flight. Make sure that you book it as early as possible, and make sure that you ask that agent that you're making that reservation, what happens to my child if my child gets stranded at the airport because the flight was canceled? You gotta ask these things, because some places don't have a place for a child. In most airlines, some airlines, they have a hub where you can only, the unaccompanied child minor can stop, and there are certain there's age restrictions where kids cannot fly on flights that have stops. Okay, it has to be a non-stop flight. Certain airlines, the kids that are from 8 to 15 years old can do non-stop. And when you pay that fee for unaccompanied minor, you're paying for a service. But take in mind that you have a chance, especially this summer, of your child being stranded or being stuck at the airport, and you don't want that. Okay? Because this is how sometimes these how airlines work sometimes. In order for you as an adult to get, let's say, for you to get a flight I mean, for you to get a hotel, let's say you're going from New York to Chicago, Chicago to LA, right? And your flight you get to Chicago, and your flight gets delayed in Chicago, or it gets canceled, then the airline has to give you a voucher for a hotel because you got caught in the middle of your flight. But if your flight gets canceled in New York and that's your origin, and then you don't get in the hotel, they'll tell you go back home or go someone pick you up. That's where you started from. If you're leaving from LA, you left from New York, Chicago, LA, and you left from LA, and there's no flights, then they have to give you a flight. They have to give you a hotel in LA because that's not where you started from. So those are the things that you have to be careful. So you make sure that you get stuck on the airplane and you get stuck in the airport and you're there for the next following day and you're in the middle, they have to give you a hotel room. And if you're coming back from your destination, they also have to give you a hotel room. But my main concern is the unaccompanied minor, because they cannot defend themselves. And some people, they're just some airlines, you could be between the age of 15 and 17, and you don't have to pay the unaccompanied minor fee. So if that child gets stranded, there's no way that child can be put in a place where unaccompanied minors normally are when you do pay a fee. So it's very, very, very important that when you send your child, you make sure that you send your child as early as possible. That doesn't guarantee you that it's not going to be a cancellation, but it gives you more of the opportunity that your child's going to get on the next flight. If you can, if your child is flying international, make sure that flight is straight, that it's non-stop. Make sure you do that. Okay? Because it is sad listening to a parent on the phone. Where's my child? Where would I go to get my child? This is a cancellation. My son's supposed to be here. My daughter's supposed to be here. And there's nothing much you can do. So I urge you to please, when you're going to send your child unaccompanied minor, pay the fee. Even if it's 16 or 17-year-old, pay that fee. And you know that child, if something does happen, the flight gets canceled, they are in a hub where they have facility. They're in a facility where they can stay overnight, being watched by adults. Okay? So please send them as early as possible. Make sure that it's not the last flight. That it's not even come close to the last flight. Okay? There's a lot of things, but just make sure that you pay that fee, and your child can get home safe and not stay stuck in an airport. It's a bad time to fly, guys. Bad time to fly. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to my channel.